fundamentals of the asset class are quite good. Because interest rates have been falling for several years and companies have refinanced their debt loads, their interest burden, so their debt coverage ratios are at all-time highs. So they're as high, frankly, as they've ever been. Most companies can cover their interest expenses or on their debt by at least 3 to 4 times their cash flows, which leaves a substantial cushion for debt servicing. Debt leverage, the absolute amount of debt that companies carry, is around long-term averages. It really has not moved up very much. Usually at this point in an economic cycle, you would expect that leverage would be elevated, and it really has never elevated all that much. It remains around long-term averages. So those two things are what's keeping the default rate extremely low. So the default rate right now is around 1% for high yield. It could move up to the extent that we have a prolonged economic downturn, but the longer-term average on default rates is close to 4%. And we really don't foresee anything absent a medium-sized recession that would cause the default rate to materially move up. So we expect the default rate to remain low for the foreseeable future. Sure. So the global high yield market has rallied very strongly to start the year. We expect that spreads will be range bound over the summer as equity markets and earnings will remain relatively flat. The global high yield market will see spread tightening in the Q3 and Q4 of this year as earnings improve at that time. Yeah, so the Fed cutting interest rates will be favorable for the market, so that will be a positive when it happens, but the Fed will cut interest rates to solve some type of macroeconomic issue that they see, so there will be a period of volatility while markets digest whatever macro problem that the Fed's addressing, and then we'll see a fairly strong risk rally once the Fed does cut interest rates. So we expect fund flows to remain positive as long as interest rates continue to be stable or falling. So we saw fund flows, somewhat volatile fund flows last year when interest rates were increasing. As interest rates are stable to falling, the asset class will continue to get inflows due to the high current income. Yeah, so we do believe that spreads will tighten this year. We think fair value spreads are about 50 basis points tighter than they currently are. So that would imply beyond the current income that we would get approximately another 2% of capital appreciation this year. Okay, so possible risks to be aware of this year. There's a long list, and so the U.S. is entering an election season, and because of that, there will be a period where there will be a lot of trade and tariff talk, where the trade and tariff issue has gone from being an economic issue to a political issue, likely for the next several months. So while we do think that it will be resolved favorably for the global economy, we're likely to see some volatility just around the political cycle in the U.S. Yeah, so the strategy is focused on the best opportunities across the global high yield market. So that means everything below investment grade across the globe we consider for the fund with our large research team. We do that with the research team, looking at all the opportunities and focusing on a very small number of opportunities globally. That's resulted in very high risk-adjusted returns for the portfolio, utilizing a very disciplined, focused bottom-up investment strategy. We also leverage the firm's asset allocation expertise, utilizing all of the investment professionals across the firm, 200 across every time zone on the globe, to help us think about where the proper risk and return across asset classes lies as we think about how to position the portfolio from the top down. Once we have the portfolio built, we have a rigorous risk management system to continually monitor the portfolio positioning, as well as our analyst views of the underlying credits. And it's really that globally integrated fixed income team.
投资一定有风险，基金投资有赚有赔，申购前应详阅公开说明书。